The White Lotus renewed for season 4 at HBO. Hoping for a ski resort. Maybe Japan or Switzerland. Unless season 3 is somehow terrible, Mike White is going to have to tell them he doesn't want to do it anymore before they tell him to stop right now. In Alien, 1979, Ash is observing the chest-burster embryo inside Kane on his monitor, which he turns off when Ripley appears. While they talk, she tries to look in his microscope but Ash tells her to stop. After she leaves, he drinks a white fluid. Full details and spoilers in comments. I can't lie to you about your chances. But you have my sympathies. I mean, he literally countermands Ripley, breaks protocol, and allows Kane and crew back on the ship, and bypass quarantine, which would have saved them. Well, not Kane. This character is hilariously stupid. Got more screen time than Cole LMAO. Great dental insurance over in the Free Cities. Annoyed that she suddenly respects him and thinks he's a worthy fighter after him getting a single hit in. He didn't even show any amount of defiance or strength after he did it, he was still crawling like he was scared. Felt incredibly forced, as if they were too lazy to choreograph a fist fight. GI Robot finally gets to kill some Nazis creature commandos. He killed Nazis is what he did. He was a great American veteran. And in this house, GI Robot is a hero. End of story. Cheers to the Tin Man. It's time for a return to when there were a constant stream of shows and movies about colorful characters gleefully killing Nazis. I visited Neighborhood. Every time I see these pictures I remember how magnificent this place is. Has this experience changed your feelings about sand? In the movie King Kong, 2005, a big, fat man from the audience can be seen laughing out loud at Andaro's comedic tumble. This foreshadows the event that happens later, when Kong bursts out laughing after and falls while attempting to amuse him. There's a fun interview with Naomi Watts where she discusses asking David Lynch for advice about whether to take this role. She switches into an amazing David Lynch impression and says, Naomi, anyone who sits in the palm of King Kong, will be a movie star for life. Absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite details is the crate in the underbelly of the ship labeled Sumatran Rat Monkey, a nod to one of Peter Jackson's first films, Brain Dead. In the Hungarian version of Deadpool and Wolverine, 2024, Reynolds is voiced by the guy that dubbed Chris Hemsworth in Furiosa, so when entering the void Deadpool says, "This is full on Mad Maximum, but in that case I should be voicing Thor." I love translation facts like these. I also like how in Robin Hood Men in Tights in the German dub, instead of the line "I do speak with a British accent," they say "I don't cost millions of dollars," with cost in Germany sounding a lot like Costner. In Spanish there is a similar case with other Chris. His voice actor is the same guy that voices Chris Evans, and when Johnny gets killed, instead of mentioning the budget, Deadpool mentions he was confusing the audience with his voice. More context, the voice actor that regularly dubs Ryan Reynolds in Hungary is not much of a cusser himself, and his style doesn't really resonate with the character. So in 2016 the dubbing studio asked this other voice actor to do it, who regularly dubs Chris Hemsworth, even in Marvel movies, hoping the two characters doesn't end up in the same movie someday. In Fifth Element, 1997, the case that the stones are put into in 1914 is the same case that Zorg gets later, but it's missing one of the handles. The missing handle is in the gauntlet that is used to regenerate Lilo. Handle not important, only life important. Love this movie. I've watched the film many times, but this is the first time I noticed the handle in the regeneration chamber. Just noticed that blind assassin Kane in John Wick Chapter 4, 2023, uses a handgun with no sights. I just like the fact that his name is Kane and he uses a cane. This character wrecked my head. John Wick is meant to be the best of the best but is evenly matched against a blind guy. Does that mean Kane would be the best if he wasn't blind? Like, couldn't he just have made a fuckton of noise to disrupt him? Oh. We're in Japan. Look. A gong. Obviously hyperbole, but my point still stands. Jenna and Angela with Timothy Olyphant. Timothy Olyphant looks like a 55-year-old lesbian. Halper, you looking for someone to bang your wife? Seamus on Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo. I hope he had about 20 bourbons before he made that decision. I would die of liver and kidney failure before that happened. I forgot who said it, but someone on AEW cut a promo calling it something along the lines of a crappy Transformers tattoo rolling on the floor laughing. One of my favorite running gags on here when he returned was the theory that it was taking so long because WWE were making him laser the shitty tattoo off. Honestly, years later, and it's still terrible. In a Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, 2019, Shaun holds up an empty pizza box with a stain resembling a heptapod symbol from the movie Arrival, 2016. Their doorbell is the 5-tone melody from Close Encounters 2. So many good Easter eggs in this one. Like their ship or their bodies, their written language has no forward or backward direction. Linguists call this nonlinear orthography, which raises the question, more cheese grommet. Classic Aardman and cheeky Easter eggs. Seeing how this film has to do with an alien visitor, this is 100% a reference to Arrival. Great spot. Real spouse cameos. Brian Baumgartner's wife would have made a cameo, but she went to another school. Steve Carell is married to a papier-mâché bust of himself. I conceded, good for them. Now I see why Pam said she thought Toby was kind of cute. Her real-life husband shares the same lemon head look. Where's Toby's wife from? I don't remember seeing her. Your uncle wouldn't allow it? The steals your droid part is pretty shitty. Especially since he's still looking for one 20 years later, finds the same one and has to pay Jawa prices for it. TBF, in episode 4, Owen said I have no need for a protocol droid. In episode 2, he probably still didn't need 3PO, but kept him around because he belonged to his mother. It was Anakin's droid anyways. Watching the Star Wars movies in context, Uncle Owen was actually so right to react the way he did in 4. He gets called grumpy a lot, but he's actually raising the son of a mass murderer that he's not even blood related to and just trying his best to make the kid into an average guy instead of cannon fodder for the rebellion or another mass murderer. 2025 Oscars will skip performances of nominated songs. The only reason I watched the Oscars in 2024 was to see Ryan Gosling perform I'm Just Ken, and he fucking delivered. They were too scared to have Nin performing on stage/S. They just don't want Kneecap performing SMH. Like and subscribe.